Today's discussion enters the fictional world of the movie Mortal Engines 2018, a journey through the heart of the post-apocalyptic landscape where survival is the only currency and hope is a flickering flame in the darkness. The film starts with a narration, briefly recapping a devastating event known as the 60-minute war in which the Ancient Ones laid waste to the world around them, and those that remained went on to form mobile predator cities that lord over the smaller cities. A 28-year-old young woman named Hester lives in a Bavarian mining town on wheels called Salzhaken. She sees that the much larger predator city of London is approaching towards their smaller city. She hides a knife for later use and rushes inside the city as other citizens are also being alarmed about the incoming predator city. The other people in the small town panic and begin to drive their town on wheels while Hester runs to the front, waiting to be absorbed by London. She has her eyes set on London's head of the Guild of Historians, Valentine. The predator city of London goes after the smaller town via the hunting grounds as the wealthy and well-kept citizens of London cheer like it's a sport. London's Mayor Crome also shows up and orders everyone to bring the Salzhaken town in. The Salzhaken citizens make extreme efforts to escape from London's attack, even if it requires them to empty their silos to remove heavy weights. They do get some speed after emptying the silos, but Crome orders his men to stay on course and keep gaining on them. Hester is still watching from the front as London finally attacks and prepares to ingest the town. Within a matter of moments, Salzhaken is brought inside London. We are introduced to Dr. Pomeroy, who is the head of London Museum and seems like a good man because he is concerned about people's safety. A young apprentice historian named Tom works for Dr. Pomeroy and is rushing towards the museum after being late for work. He meets Valentine's beautiful daughter Catherine, who is interested to read some history about the 60-minute war. They check out London's little museum of old tech, which includes smartphones, toasters, computers, and other remains from the 60-minute war. Tom shows her a brief video in which a bioweapon called Medusa was the cause of the destruction brought on by the 60-minute war. Tom then shares a secret with her and says that they've come across some dangerous tech that can be used as viable weaponry. He is planning to secretly destroy this old tech to avoid any major destructions in the future, but it is revealed that the chief navigator is snooping and listening to their conversation. He interrupts them and sends Tom away to London's lower level so that he can spend a moment with Catherine, but she ends up accompanying Tom to his destination. In the meantime, the people of Salzhaken are brought in for processing. Hester is also present in the crowd, and she is apparently planning something in her mind. Valentine descends to oversee things and meets his daughter as we see Hester staring in vengeance. Valentine is then distracted by one of the guards who assaults a man from the small town. Hester pulls out that knife she had earlier and gets closer to Valentine, which Tom manages to see. He calls out to Valentine to warn him, but Hester manages to stab Valentine quickly. She pulls off her scarf to reveal her facial scar and tells Valentine this is for her mother Pandora. Before she can kill Valentine, she is stopped by Tom, who chases after her. Hester and Tom run through the furnaces of London City, where both of them surprisingly dodge any obstacle coming in their way because it's a science fiction movie after all. Anyway, the chase ends when Hester ends up in a waste chute. Hester is about to jump until Tom quickly approaches and grabs her wrist. She tells Tom to ask Valentine what he did to her mother and how he gave Hester her scar before she lets herself free of Tom's grip and falls down the chute. Valentine also shows up like a ghost, but the movie didn't show that he was chasing them. Tom reveals Hester's conversation and starts to ask what she meant by what she said. Valentine responds by pushing Tom down the chute right before Catherine and other people arrive, telling them that Tom fell in as a result of fighting Hester. Catherine notices that another man, Bevis, saw the whole thing because the movie makers asked him to stand there for no reason. After a while, Catherine talks to her father and asks him about the girl who attacked him. Valentine completely denies about knowing anything and lies to her that he saw her for the first time in his life. Catherine still remains suspicious about his claims and plans to meet the guy who witnessed everything on the waste chute. In the meantime, Hester and Tom are dropped on the outskirts of an unknown location and are surprisingly alive. She picks his pockets and steals his money and knife before heading off on her own. Tom wakes up and follows Hester, thinking they should stick together, but she wants nothing to do with him. She gets angry on him and blames him for ruining her only chance to kill Valentine. Valentine speaks to Crome over his plans for where to take London, but Crome has his doubts over whatever Valentine is planning, due to London living by the philosophy of municipal Darwinism. Valentine then goes out to work despite his injury and mistakenly talks about Hester in front of Catherine, which further grows her concern about her father's past. Valentine then goes to visit his top scientist as she is in the process of developing a weapon for Valentine. She also offers Valentine a solution for dealing with Hester. She reveals that an offshore prison has captured a resurrected human who is a half-zombie-like creature. His name is Shrike, and he has a history with Hester. Shrike is angry with Hester for some reason and is on a hunt to kill her. Thinking of using Shrike as a weapon to kill Hester, Valentine immediately departs for that offshore prison to find Shrike. In the meantime, we see Hester and Tom still walking on the outskirts as Tom continues his useless talk and tries to befriend Hester. They take some rest in a small cave-like structure and Hester pulls out some bread from nowhere because the movie makers want them to stay alive. Anyway, Hester shares half of it with Tom, and they both sit there together. A noticeable silence surrounds the movie, and they keep talking about unnecessary stuff because they just want to increase the movie duration. Hester takes a nap for a moment and goes through a nightmare in which we see a little girl running in the woods, but she wakes up before giving us more details. She finds Tom missing from the location and goes after him after noticing him on a high ground. He tries to get some help from nearby scavengers, but Hester senses the danger and asks him to run. They are forced to run through the outskirts as the scavs keep attacking them. Hester climbs back on the high ground and gets injured while helping Tom in doing so. Not long after, they are saved by some people living underground and taken into a town called Scuttlebutt. Tom asks for a doctor to treat Hester's injury, but nothing is available at the moment. Catherine goes to find Bevis in the interim and asks what he saw on the way shoot. He is hesitant to say since he knows it will get him in trouble, but he finally admits to Catherine that he saw her father push Tom down the chute. What's more, Bevis knows is that Valentine is covering something up and is building something inside the cathedral, and the two try to figure out a way to get inside. Valentine arrives at the offshore prison to find Shrike, who could be used as a weapon to kill Hester. The prisoners have locked him in a metal box which he is continuously trying to break. Shrike is angry with Hester for going back on a promise she made to him, and he wants her dead. Valentine realizes that Shrike is his only way to kill Hester, so he destroys the offshore prison and lets Shrike run free to go after Hester. We cut back to Hester and Tom where the woman takes them to a cell and asks them to take some rest. Hester then tells Tom about how she lost her mother when she was 8. Valentine was good friends with her mother Pandora and always treated Hester kindly until the day that Pandora and Valentine both found something that Pandora knew Valentine wanted for his own dark purposes. They fought over it and Valentine stabbed Pandora in front of Hester and slashed Hester's face when she tried to save her mother. Before dying, Pandora gave Hester a necklace with an eye symbol and Hester escaped. Though the people that take Hester and Tom in appear hospitable, but Tom discovers that they've locked them inside the cell. Tom finds a sewage opening at the bottom of the cell and decides to escape. However, Hester is unable to jump due to her injury and asks Tom to escape on his own, but Tom denies the idea and stays with her. The people of Scuttlebutt enter the cell and take them out to a local town. Hester and Tom are brought before an auction in Rustwater where they are to be sold off as slaves. When Hester is brought up for purchase, a woman named Anna steps out and claims she will take Hester. She looks more like a man and slowly approaches the stage to save Hester. The auctioneer knows that Anna is a fugitive wanted by London with a price on her head, but Anna frees Hester and Tom after killing the auctioneer and several of his men. Anna uses a double-barrel shotgun that has unlimited bullets for some reason and fights off the guards. Hester and Tom run through the town, only to discover that Shrike has also arrived from nowhere on the very right time. Hester immediately recognizes him and runs away after sensing the danger. They climb the giant wheels of the moving town in a fictional manner, but Shrike follows them like a ghost. Anna suddenly appears in her aircraft and helps Hester board. Shrike also attempts to climb up and catch them as Tom is climbing the rope to the aircraft. Anna throws Hester a knife to cut Tom loose, but she throws it to Tom to cut Shrike loose. They fly away in the aircraft as Shrike watches in anger. As they fly towards their next destination, Anna first pretends to kill them, but then puts the gun away and says that she's just trying to waste their time. She talks to Hester and says she knew her mother Pandora and has been trying to find Hester since Pandora's death. Hester then explains to Tom how she knows Shrike. After running away as a child, Shrike found her and raised her for years like his own. He had always noticed how sad Hester was, and he offered a solution to make the pain go away. Shrike revealed a robotic body he made for Hester so that she can die and be reborn as a machine with no memory of the horrors of her childhood. She almost took him up on the offer until she heard about Valentine being close, so she headed off to hunt him down and left Shrike alone and angered by her deception. Meanwhile, Catherine and Bevis do more investigating by speaking to Dr. Pomeroy. He quietly leads them through a tunnel into the cathedral, which is comprised of thousands of stairs, and because it's a science fiction movie, it only takes 5 minutes for them to climb to the top. Valentine is already present there, and is about to activate the dangerous weapon Medusa that he is holding. Chrome also shows up in the cathedral and finally discovers the weapon himself. Valentine claims that he now has control over the world and nothing can stop him. Realizing that Chrome is going to be problematic in his dangerous ambition, he pulls out a gun and kills him. Catherine witnesses everything from the top and feels heartbroken after knowing her father's true face. While all this is happening, Anna brings Hester and Tom to Airhaven, where they are welcomed by Anna's partners in the Anti-Traction League. They have a meeting together in which Anna explains their plans to stop Valentine from his dangerous ambition of taking over the world. She tells Hester that Pandora was trying to hide something from Valentine. Hester remembers that the old piece of tech Valentine was trying to steal from her mother was actually the key to activate Medusa. Anna and her team are trying to find a way to stop Medusa, as Valentine is planning to bring it to Shanghua, a non-mobile city that was formerly China, and destroy the wall that seals it off before taking down the rest of the city. Just then, Shrike enters and starts to attack and kill Anna's teammates. Airhaven starts to go down in flames as the survivors try to escape. They are unable to beat Shrike because he is a resurrected human after all. Shrike goes after Hester and Tom and nearly kills Tom until Hester pleads with him to leave him. Shrike realizes Hester is in love with Tom. He also notices he has been heavily damaged in the fight and he is going to die for good. He releases Hester from her promise and lets her go. She tearfully leaves him, and Shrike's final thoughts are of Hester as a child and the life they could have had together. She and Tom escape with Anna and a few others. Valentine prepares to take London towards Shanghua and plans to destroy the shield wall. Anna and her team also fly towards the same location and try to stop Valentine from attacking Shanghua. She goes beyond the shield wall of Shanghua with her team and talks to Governor Quan to help launch the anti-tractionist fleet against London. Anna and Governor Quan are planning to destroy Medusa before it destroys them. However, Tom is against the idea because Medusa cannot be destroyed unless and until it is stopped. Valentine is continuously approaching Shanghua and raises Medusa to fire the first powerful blast against the wall. The heroes fly toward London as they inch closer and closer to the wall. While this is happening, Hester comes across an eye symbol and remembers her mother's necklace. She finds that this necklace holds the kill drive for Medusa. She rushes after Tom to inform him about this necklace and the kill drive because it's their only way to stop Medusa. Nonetheless, Valentine orders his scientists to fire the first powerful blast against the wall. This attack kills hundreds of innocent people and destroys a big portion of the shield wall. Valentine hasn't had enough of this, so he immediately prepares for a second attack. In order to stop Medusa from further attacks, Hester and Anna decide to enter London and use that kill drive to stop the weapon. They board numerous aircrafts to fly towards London, and Anna asks Hester one last time if she is adamant about this because there's no coming back. Hester responds by saying that she has to do this for her mother Pandora. They begin flying towards London as they watch the city of Shanghua burning like hell. Valentine fires a second powerful blast on the wall and prepares for a third one. Many of Anna's teammates are shot down and killed as another blast hits the wall. Hester and Anna manage to make it to London, and Hester heads to the cathedral where Valentine is holding Medusa. Anna also leaves the aircraft and follows inside to confront Valentine. She finds him and fires at him, but he is saved by one of his bodyguards. Valentine goes after Anna, and they fight using blades instead of killing each other with their high-tech weapons because the movie makers have to buy some time for Hester to stop Medusa. Anyway, Hester rushes inside the cathedral and uses the kill drive to shut down Medusa before the final blast can fully take the wall down. Valentine fatally impales Anna, but she lives long enough to see Medusa shut down. Valentine leaves the cathedral after Hester puts an end to his dangerous weapon. Catherine also sees what kind of man her father truly is, and she refuses to side with him. Valentine still plans to ram London into the wall at the cost of millions of lives. Catherine tries to stop London's engine, but it won't budge. Valentine tries to get away on his own aircraft until Hester appears from nowhere and points a gun at him. He reveals to her that he is her father, having been in love with Pandora before her death. He distracts her with his talk and snatches the gun from her. Tom flies Anna's aircraft toward the engine to blast it to bits, causing London to slow down and disbalancing Valentine. Hester then fights him and slashes his face like he did to her when she was a kid. Hester then has a chance to kill Valentine, but she chooses not to for some unknown stupid reason. She hops on the aircraft with Tom before he fires a blast at Valentine's craft, sending it crashing to the ground. However, Valentine still survives because it's a science fiction movie, but only long enough to see that London's tracks are about to crush him. Hester sighs upon looking at this and laughs in victory as if she killed him. Catherine leads the remaining Londoners to the top of Shanggua's wall, where she peacefully greets Quan, and he accepts them in for sanctuary. As the sun rises, we see Hester and Tom are still flying in the air for some reason instead of coming back to the ground. They are now in a relationship and embrace as they take Anna's aircraft to travel the destroyed world.